If you don't think there's hope for the world, why bother going on?
You haven't seen the world, so you don't know. You keep going for family.
I'm not family.
No? You're cargo.
Season 1 of The Last of Us has officially ended, and now I'm reviewing it. Okay, so I've played the first game. Haven't played the second one yet, but I was a bit iffy about them doing a TV show of The Last of Us because, if you know, in the past, video game or like movie adaptations of video games have been very not well, but with TV shows they seem to be a lot better. Like I haven't seen Castlevania or Arcane, but I've heard those are really good. But I did see Cyberpunk Edgerunners, and that was really good. So I went into this going like, okay, well, it's a TV version of the video game. So let's see what they're gonna do. And I was thoroughly impressed with what they did. I think one of the reasons why this worked as well as it did is because it was there was two showrunners. There was a showrunner who did the Chernobyl for HBO, and the other was the actual game creator, which is how I think, if they're gonna make like a movie adaptation or a TV adaptation on a video game, bring in the creators. I think that's the only way to make it work. Or you be as accurate as you can, because then you're just going to make fans upset. And I thoroughly enjoyed what they did. I think the acting was really well done. I'm a big Pedro Pascal fan anyway. And to see him and Bella Ramsey, who they both came from Game of Thrones, that was cool. And yeah, I was thoroughly impressed with what they did. They were really accurate to the bone, on a lot of things. And some of the things that they did change, I think there is like some of the changes. I was going like, I'm glad this wasn't like a slap in the face change. It was more like we're putting this in to help connect or make the story flow better. So if you don't know The Last of Us, what it is it a zombie outbreak has, it has been outbreak now, because of a deadly fungi. And to me, that helps keep this very grounded, very much like grounded to reality. Where, with typical zombie movies or TV shows, they'll either not explain what caused it, or what did cause it. It was like, oh, of course, like whether it be like, oh, this happened because a evil corporation known as the Umbrella Corporation was secretly creating a virus, so. Or it'll just be like, it happened because it happened. Or maybe it'll be like Zombieland, where I believe with that movie, I think it was a a deadly burger that started it. But this, it keeps it very realistic and very much grounded in reality. And I loved that. To me, this felt very much like District 9, but with zombies. Where with District 9, it's an alien movie where aliens, they come down and they're like, hey, sorry, we didn't mean to crash land here, but if you give us time, we'll get out of your hair. And then throughout the course of the movie, it's like, wow, this is really dark, but it feels very realistic. So, which is why I love that movie. And this, yes, it's a zombie show, but not really. It's showing us, that survival is key, and that there's monsters everywhere, and they may have been infected, and they may have not, but the world is full of monsters, and which also, again, I go back to the point, keeps this very grounded, and it's the primary story is how far, as a parent, would you go to protect the ones you love or protect your child? It's how far would you go? Would you, it's like the opposite of like a Klondike bar. Like, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Where with this, it's like, how far would you go? Like, would you get shot for your child? Would you get stabbed for your child? Would you kill someone for your child? It's like, how far would you go? Now, what would push your limit? Or if your limit would even be pushed? Like, could it? So, from the acting to the realism, I really liked every episode of this. I've heard a lot of people say that they think that the Left Behind episode is a bit weak because it feels very like out of place. But personally, I liked it. So I thoroughly enjoyed this show, and from the first episode, I was immediately hooked. And yeah, how accurate they were really, really accurate. And I'll also say this: the zombies in this, in the first episode when they get introduced, man, I was not expecting them to have like the like moving grass in their mouth at all. And I was like, oh, that is just gross. So, but yeah, the suspense of the game they captured, the realism of the game they captured. So it felt real, which I loved. I loved how they kept it real. There really is nothing bad I can say about this. I enjoyed every episode. I know I've heard a lot of people say like, oh, it should have been 8 episodes or it should have been 10 episodes instead of 9. I'm just like, okay, so it's bad that they have an odd number of episodes instead of even number. Like, okay. And then a lot of people have said that they think the Left Behind episode feels like shoo-in, but I don't. I enjoyed that one. I enjoyed every episode of this, and a lot of the changes that they did, it was like, oh boy, Like something that has I won't for those who haven't seen this, I'll keep this spoiler free. But in one of the episodes, it deals with something underground that they set up earlier, and it's like, oh boy, I don't remember this. And then something happens, and it's like, that wasn't in the game at all, but oh my god, that was amazing. So, like I said, the changes, I liked what they did. I think it helped move the story more. The acting, very, very good, very realistic. So I'm waiting for season 2, even though they just said that the amount that's in part 2 would actually be more than one season. So we'll see what they do. But I personally give this amazing. I was thoroughly impressed with what they did. And the fact that the first episode had them play Depeche Mode's Never Let Me Down Again, and that song has now gotten a resurgence. And I talk to people all the time, and they say, like, dude, that song was great. And I'm like, it always was. So if you don't know me, Depeche Mode is my favorite band of all time. So hearing them play it, I was like, oh, that's awesome. Yep, I'm hooked. So yeah, definitely give this a watch. And they keep making adaptations like this, like super accurate, because this is what people want, and this is what the fans want. So hopefully they don't disappoint.
You might not be her father, but you were someone's.
You trust me?